Hey guys, this is Kathy from Chronic Kathy, and my first vlog I talked about my story and how I ended up here. And everybody has their own chronic illness story. It's kind of like when people have their testimony of coming to Jesus, I guess. You have your chronic illness testimony. And everybody's is different and unique. Even if you have some people that have the same exact disease as you, everybody's story is unique. And that's something you need to understand, that even if you have a support group of people that have the same exact illness as you do, your experience is going to be unique to you. There's going to be some common factors that you're all going to have, where you're going to be like, oh yeah, I totally get it. I totally understand what you're going through. But you have to not get into the place of comparing yourself too much to other people. For example, I've had pulmonary hypertension. Well, I was diagnosed when I was 26, so I've had it since I was 22 years old. And along the way, I have met many people with pulmonary hypertension through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, support groups, many people. A lot of those people I become very good friends with, and they would die. They would pass away from the disease. And that's always really hard when you have an illness and people you get to know and get to care about that have the same exact illness as you, they don't make it and the disease gets them. So many things go through your mind. You're obviously sad that they're gone and you miss them as a friend, but then part of you is like, well, am I next? Am I going to be moving up in the line here? I did that so many times, just comparing myself. And one of my doctors said, everybody's different. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just because somebody with your illness has one experience doesn't mean that's going to be your experience. But once you get diagnosed, or once you start having symptoms, your life, as you know, it will never be the same. My daughter calls it, you have a new normal. Some people are born with a sickness. Like I said, they might have cystic fibrosis. They might have SMA like my niece has. I have another cousin who has cerebral palsy. They were born with those illnesses. So your normal might be always that way, and you might never know what it's like to be healthy. Or you could be like me, where you're perfectly healthy, going about your business, and then you get struck with, it's like somebody flicks a switch and all of a sudden you're sick. You get diagnosed with a debilitating illness, and you have to shift to this new normal. That's really so difficult. I can't even tell you. I've been sick more than half my life. I'm still not completely accepting of it. I'm still not completely used to it. I'm still trying to figure things out as far as my normal, my new normal. And that's something you're going to have to traverse and have to figure out, is what works for you and what your new normal is going to be. So that's something you have to work out. I would say the first thing you need to do once you're diagnosed with an illness, the most important thing you need to do is to become stable. Get on any medication you need to be on. Make sure you have a specialist who treats your condition. You're going to end up having a team of doctors to help you manage your condition. I have a regular doctor, I have a cardiologist, I have a pulmonologist, I have a gastroenterologist, I have an ENT that I all see. These are all specialists in their field. You're gonna have to come up with a team of doctors that you trust, that can help you get on your regimen, get on your medications, and get yourself stable. That would be the most important thing, I would think, right away. Then you're going to figure out what your new normal is. You will have limitations. You will have things that possibly you could do before that you can't do anymore, whether you live with pain or chronic stomach problems or walking issues, or like me, breathing problems, heart problems. You are going to have to figure out where your life falls right now. You might have things that you wanted to do, you can't do. I was in college. Like I said, I went to FSU. I was in a sorority. I was social chairman of my sorority. I was very busy. I had a part-time job, very sociable, going to the gym. I had all these plans for my future. Very excited about the future. And when I got sick, it was a complete derailment of my plans. Nobody plans on getting sick. Nobody plans to grow up and be chronically ill. Nobody's like, oh, I'm going to go to college and study my butt off and get a degree, and then I'm going to get a debilitating disease. That'll be fun. Nobody plans for that. It's one of those little curveballs, or I'd say it's a huge curveball that life throws you. And unfortunately, you have to roll with it. The more you fight it, the harder it's going to be. There's still times when I just am like, I can't believe this is what's, my life. I can't believe I have this illness. Why me? Why is this happening? You don't want to fall into that place. And if you do, you want to try to pull yourself out of it, because it's not going to change a thing. You need to get to a place of acceptance. This is what it is. It is what it is. That's kind of one of my mantras. It is what it is. My life is very much revolved around my illness. I go to the doctor all the time. I'm at the doctor every 2 or 3 months. I've been in the emergency room 3 times this year. I've been hospitalized twice. This is normal for me. This is my new normal. I've spent too many years crying about it, belly aching about it, feeling sorry for myself. And I've realized, you know what? I'm still sick. All that crying and belly aching and carrying on and feeling sorry for myself and getting depressed and sad, it hasn't changed a damn thing. I still have pulmonary hypertension. I'm still dealing with this crap. It's not going to make it go away. If anything, it's going to make you sicker. If anything, stress, anxiety, worrying is going to make the illness worse. I'm kind of trying to get into a new head after decades of being sick. I'm trying to get into a place of acceptance where I'm like, you know what? This is the way it is. This is my normal. I'm going to have to learn to accept it sooner or later, and my life will be a lot better. Some people are really lucky and they have a chronic illness and they can take a pill and their life's completely normal, the way it used to be. There's no change in their circumstances. I think that's the exception, not the rule. I think most people that have a chronic illness, it is going to affect their life in some way, and you are going to experience limitations, frustrations. You're going to experience moments of feeling very, upset with God or your higher power, or upset with the way things have worked out for you. And I don't like it when people compare me to somebody. Well, at least you're not, a paraplegic, or at least you're not this or that. That doesn't help me. That takes away from my experience, okay? You can always find somebody sicker than you or better than you. So I don't fall into that trap of comparing myself. I'm going through my own personal experience with chronic illness, and it's very frustrating and very debilitating for me. You have your own personal experience with it and your own frustrations, your own problems. And, I totally empathize with what you're going through. I might not completely understand it because my experience is different, but I completely empathize with anybody with a chronic illness. That's what this channel is all about. You know what's going on in your body and you know how you feel. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. You really don't. So many people I've talked to that have pulmonary hypertension and their spouses just think they're faking, or they think that they're, over dramatizing things. You don't have to owe anybody an explanation at all. You just say, look, you don't believe me? That's your business, but I know what I'm going through and I don't have to explain myself to you. Your family and your friends should believe you. They should not think you're faking. And if they do, then they have a problem as far as I'm concerned. So there's different things we're going to talk about in this, on this channel with chronic illness. And if you want to leave comments, I really encourage that. Write down what you're going through, things you've been experiencing with your chronic illness, how long you've had it. Have you had it since birth? Were you diagnosed later in life? Whatever it is, it's a derailment from quote unquote normal. And it's a shift in your plans, especially if you get diagnosed later in life. If you've been healthy and then in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever, you're told, well, you got this disease now. Really working on shifting my thinking and my perception from feeling sorry for myself and my circumstances to like, oh, it is what it is. What are you going to do? I mean, you know what I mean? Let's try to be positive. And this is something we'll talk about in a future vlog. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to try to keep these vlogs no more than 15 minutes, hopefully around 10. And maybe I will take you guys along to some doctor's visits or whatever, or little things I do around in my life, my everyday life. We'll see where it goes. This is all new to me as far as this goes. Thanks so much, guys. Please like and subscribe. And this is Kathy from Chronic Kathy.